Let's look at trends. Number one, relativism and rejection of absolute truth. That's one of the major trends in the world today. Nothing is absolute. Everything is relative. You can't come and tell me that immorality is wrong. It depends on the context. So everything you say today, they say there's a context. And the idea of the context is to substitute absolute truths of people. So the things God say right, they say it may not necessarily be right. The things God says wrong, they say it may not necessarily be wrong. Let's examine the context to understand why it is so. It is relativism. And this thing has eaten deep into the Western world. So you can't come and preach to somebody and say, if you don't receive Christ, you go to hell. They say, it depends. It depends. What do you mean by Christ? And why do you say there's only one way? What about this and that and that? And if you are not a Bible student, you'll be shocked that it will make so much sense to you. And in a few months, you'll be flushed out of the line. A pastor's son went to Canada. In 5 months, the guy was already doubting his faith. I'm not talking about a Christian, somebody who lives in the house of a pastor. To let you know the energy and the bombardment in the world out there. These are trends. Number two, materialism and consumerism. What is that? Value is in things. It's a trend in the world today. And this one eats even into the altar. They force you to think that your value is not in what God says. Your value is in what you have. So people are striving to drive the best of cars, not because they love the model. That's what makes them look relevant. Somebody dresses or wears a watch or wears a jewelry. He wants you to see it by all means. The guy is on the live stream teaching the word of God. He's doing his hand like this. He wants you to see his watch. That's when you will know that ministry is working. I'm not talking the word. And this is why many come under pressure and they compromise. We don't define things the way God defines them anymore. And the Bible told us clearly. It said a man's value, Luke 12:15, is not in the multitude of his possessions. A man's value is not in the multitude of his possession. Trends. How about immorality? Today, they ask you, how old are you? You say you are 25. You say, you know what they are saying? Oh, no, I'm not a virgin. Come on. Because if you are a virgin, they are wondering, are you in this world? They even make you look timid, uncivilized, because you kept your virtue. And there are many people now looking for people to disflower them so that they can belong. Because it's a trend and it's strong among young people. Listen, be proud about your virginity. God says to keep yourself. He said the bed undefiled is a blessing. You are not Jew by keeping yourself. Don't let anybody pressure you into error. The world is fighting everything that is godly. These things are trends. And then immoral lifestyle. People wear their clothes, they want to throw the trouser down. If you want to be naked, be naked. People sew clothes, the whole chest is exposed. They wear skirts, the skirt is shorter than a pant. And then you see them could put hanky. You know what you wore? And then they are wondering why they can't represent God. These are the subtle battles that we are fighting. The devil has gone systemic. It's those days that the demon will appear with a horn and say, I will kill you today. Now they are mingled into lifestyles. They are mingled into our civilization. You need discernment to identify it, and you need authority to stop it. So they come in form of policies, they come in form of innovations, and they come in form of trends. Erosion of family values. Today, being a single mother is a big deal in some nations. In fact, governments give allocation to people who are single parents. So many ladies don't want to get married. They want to have a single child. Because if you are a single parent, they put you on salary. But if you are married, you are on your own. You see the wickedness. I was in Europe and I saw that this was one of the ways of escaping poverty. If you can't fend for yourself, go and get pregnant. The moment you become a single parent, you are on monthly salary. In Africa too. The moment you are a single parent, but you get married, go and work with your hand. So you see that it's a dark intelligence. Now, if you are paid for being a single mother, why do you bother yourself with marriage? And then you get married to somebody who is struggling? No way. So instead of getting married, let's be dating. We can date and give birth to as many children as we want. So these are trends destroying family patterns and ordinances. Then you see radical feminism. Women who consider submission to their husband as limitation. I am equally educated. And the Bible didn't say submission is a function of illiteracy. It says, wife, submit to your husband. But it's a movement today where people are parading, and what they do is that they look for successful women and use them as ambassadors of feminism. Your husband can't be your head. Your husband can't lead you. Why not marry yourself? Nobody is saying submitting to your husband makes you less of a human. You are working on your job, you submit to your boss. Does that reduce your humanity? This is divine order. The word that can't define marriage is now defining to God what. And these are trends. So you see many ladies, when they get married, they call their friends to find out, what should I do so that my husband doesn't play with me? If you didn't trust him, why did you marry him? Me, I don't take nonsense. So I want it. They even summon a meeting in this house. This is how we are going to live. I just want you to know, because me, I don't take nonsense. Really. Clap for yourself. You are wise. This is what is destroying our world. Satan knows he's violating divine order. And finally, is normalization of violence. The world has become a jungle, and it is the strongest that is the right one. So from our politicians to our pastors to our leaders to everybody that has power, so long as you have enough authority, you are right. So you see, election is being hijacked. The moment he becomes president, he's right. You see somebody being bullied, so long as he's in the position of power, he is right. So nothing can happen to you is jungle justice. And these things break down law and order, and they destroy the conscience of men. These are the things Satan is using. This is why you must rise as a legislator. And very quickly, who is a legislator? Legislators are individuals who exercises spiritual authority to implement or enforce God's will on earth, and causing the earth to align with God's purpose and God's order. So it's not a title, it's a responsibility. When you are able, through spiritual authority, to enforce God's will on earth and causing the earth to align with God's order and God's purpose, you have become a legislator. You may not have been ordained by any church. This is not a church thing. This is a kingdom position that men grow into. So I'm not talking about ecclesiastical ordination. You can be ordained and not be a legislator. But you may not have ecclesiastical ordination, but you are yet a legislator. So long as you can wield spiritual authority and establish God's order, you have become a legislator. So legislators advocate for God's principles and God's ordinances wherever they find themselves.
Thank you.